Ayomide. Temilade Folorunso, Italy, lane 8. She's fought her way onto the international stage and she brings serious speed over the barriers every time she races. Viivi Lehikoinen of Finland in lane 7. Young, aggressive over the hurdles, and she's been turning heads all season long. Anna Ryzhykova of Ukraine in lane 6. She's a seasoned championship performer, experienced, controlled, powerful. She knows how to run a final. Femke Bol, the Netherlands, lane 5. Reigning European champion, the fastest woman in the world over this distance. She's the name everyone in this stadium came to watch. Jessie of Great Britain in lane 4. She's been building all season and she arrives here with genuine medal ambitions on the biggest stage of her career. Viktoriya Tkachuk of Ukraine in lane 3. Dangerous, fast, and she will make her move when it matters. Gonzalez of Colombia in lane 2. She brings speed and heart every time she steps on the track, a standard bearer for South American hurdling. And lane 1, Barbora Veselá of the Czech Republic. She's spent her entire career working toward a final start line like this one. Veselá has been one of the most consistent performers on the European circuit, grinding out results year after year. The outside lane is a tough draw, but don't write her off. When that gun fires, she'll be ready. This is her moment, and she knows it. Eight of the best 300-meter hurdlers on the planet, right here, right now. This stadium is absolutely alive. You can feel it. These athletes have spent years preparing for exactly this race, and only one of them is walking away with gold. Bol is still, composed, completely locked in on what's coming. Ryzhykova rolling her shoulders, shaking it loose. She looks calm and ready to race. Athletes settling into their blocks now. The stadium has gone quiet. One of the most anticipated sprint hurdles finals in years is seconds away, and every person in these stands is holding their breath. And they are off. Bol explodes out of lane 5. Bol clear at 50 meters, hitting those first barriers hard. Knight and Tkachuk pushing from the inside. Into the bend, Bol is smooth and dominant, every hurdle clean. Into the final stretch, and Bol has a massive lead running in a completely different gear. Tkachuk is second, Ryzhykova right on her shoulder, fighting for silver. Lehikoinen pushing from lane 7, Knight battling on the inside. Out front, Bol is flawless. Final hurdle, Bol clears it perfectly and drives hard for the line, arms pumping. Nothing is stopping her now. Femke Bol wins. 36.86. That is a world record. The Netherlands erupts. Tkachuk takes silver, Ryzhykova bronze. But the story tonight is Femke Bol rewriting the history books in the 300 meters hurdles. Femke Bol drops to her knees on the track. She knows exactly what she's done. The crowd is on its feet, roaring, and Bol lets out a scream of pure joy. She looks up at the scoreboard, 36.86, a world record. The tears are coming now, the emotion washing over her completely. That time will be on every athletics broadcast in the world by tomorrow morning. Here it is in slow motion. Watch Bol at the gun. Her reaction is clean and sharp, zero hesitation off the blocks. She's moving before that pistol echo fades. Now the first hurdle. The lead leg snaps up with real efficiency, trail leg tucked flat, zero wasted energy. Into the bend, and this is where the race was won. Watch how she keeps her body upright through the turn. Most hurdlers lose time fighting the curve. Bol runs through it like she's on a straight. Her stride pattern between the barriers never wavers. Look at hurdle 4 and the speed she's carrying into that barrier. That is elite technique. By the final straight, the gap is already enormous. Tkachuk and Ryzhykova are working hard and they deserve real credit, but Bol was simply in a class of her own tonight. Watch that last hurdle in super slow motion. Lead leg perfectly timed, trail leg through in a flash, and then those final strides to the line. A world record run that was close to perfect. The Dutch flag is out, Bol wrapped in orange, and this crowd will not stop roaring. Femke Bol on her victory lap. The Netherlands flag held high, soaking in every second. She's earned every bit of it. Tkachuk and Ryzhykova share a warm embrace on the track. 2 Ukrainian athletes on the podium together. The crowd is still deafening. This stadium absolutely rocking. Bol stops in the middle of the field, looks up into the stands, and just takes it all in. That world record belongs to her now. The race was over before the final straight. Watch the bend. That's where Femke Bol separated herself from this field, not at the finish line. By the time she hit the top of the curve, she already had a gap that nobody in this final was going to close. The margins at the line tell you everything. 1.38 seconds back to Tkachuk in silver. In a 300-meter race, that's not a close contest. That's a different category of athlete running a different kind of race. What makes Bol so hard to run against over this distance is the combination. She has genuine flat speed from her 400 background, and she has the hurdling efficiency to carry that speed across the barriers without bleeding it away. Most hurdlers slow into their barriers, even slightly. Bol doesn't. Her lead leg fires fast and flat. The trail leg comes through clean, and she's already into the next stride before most athletes have fully cleared the hurdle. Over 10 barriers across 300 meters, that compounds. You're not just losing a centimeter here or there, you're losing rhythm. And rhythm in this event is everything. Lane 5 was a good draw. She got a clean look at the field through the bend. She could track Tkachuk in 3 without being boxed, and she ran the curve with her body perfectly upright. A lot of hurdlers tilt on the turn, which disrupts their stride pattern going into the barriers. Bol ran it like a straight. By 50 meters, she was already clear, already in control, and from that point, the race was about the margin, not the outcome. Tkachuk ran 38.24 for silver. Ryzhykova 38.36 for bronze. Both are solid championship performances. The gap between second and third is only 0.12 seconds, which tells you Ukraine ran a competitive race for the medals behind Bol. Lehikoinen of Finland and Knight of Great Britain both clocked 38.50 for 4th and 5th respectively, split only by a photo finish. Knight was pushing hard off the bend, but couldn't find another gear on the straight. Lehikoinen from lane 7 ran a disciplined race and will take real confidence from that result. Folorunso, Gonzalez, and Veselá were all well off the pace, finishing between 40.16 and 40.91, which reflects the gap that still exists between the top tier of this event and the broader field. The world record at 36.86 is the number that sits above everything else tonight. The 300 meters hurdles isn't a standard Olympic or World Championship event, which limits its historical record list, but that time is a benchmark that redefines what this distance looks like at its ceiling. Bol is 24 years old. She has already built a career that most athletes never approach. European champion, Diamond League titles, a global reputation as the most complete 300 to 400 meter hurdler in the world right now. The gap she opened tonight, 1.38 seconds, suggests she's operating at a level this event hasn't seen before. What comes next is the question. Bol's primary event at the major championships remains the 400 meters hurdles, where she's already among the best in history. How she balances that with continued appearances at non-standard distances will shape the next few years. What's certain is that 36.86 is going to stand for a long time.